So 4 months later, this is the end result. What we have here is an Mpcnc machine, which stands mostly printed CNC. It's a great design. This is my first time using any type of CNC machine. I've never used one before, so it was quite a learning curve for me, as far as the wiring, as far as G-code goes, as far as getting everything aligned. It was a great experience, and V1 Engineering did an amazing job designing this thing. So this is the Primo version, and you'll know why I went with this later, because well, you guys already saw why I went with the Primo, because the last print, well, is it kept getting screwed up. It kept my 3D printer kept screwing up and all that stuff. So about 3 rolls of filament later, this is what we got. And I'm about to do the first cut with this thing. Basically, I'm gonna start doing my wasteboard, and I'm gonna cut the holes for the tie downs, and this is gonna take about 4 hours to do. So I'm gonna be spending about 4 hours with this machine. Vacuuming the sawdust is gonna create a bunch of mess, but I'm gonna enjoy the experience, because you know what? After 4.5 months, I want to see this damn thing work. I want it to do what it is designed to do. So let's get started. Let's get this damn thing turned on, and I'm gonna walk you through the control box, some of the wiring, some of the challenges that I've had, and we'll go from there, and we'll run it through the first test, and basically put the holes through this MDF board for my as my wasteboard. So it'll be the first thing that I'll be cutting, and it won't be a test project. It won't be a test cut. This is actually gonna have to. This has to work, because I don't want to keep repeating what I kept I don't want to waste the board. I don't want to keep going back and forth. This needs to work. So let's get into this. Alright guys, so I'm using the Milwaukee router. Great router. I heard really good reviews about it. So everything here is 3D printed. The only thing I didn't like was the way the chain came out, because these little things, these little caps don't stay put. So that's one thing I didn't like. But let me talk about my table real quick. So my table, actually I just put this here. I don't really need it, but my table is held up by these 2 steel cables right here, and it's connected back here on 2 hinges. So when I'm done, this table folds down to the floor, and it opens up this whole area. So this whole work area opens up, which is great. So if I need to do other projects and I'm not using this, I could fold this down and it won't do anything. It was folded down during the summer. I'm in Virginia, so it gets really hot in here. Thank God I have air conditioning. But nothing happened to the 3D prints. Nothing moved, nothing shifted. Everything was great. Let's get into the box itself. So the box, don't mind the burn marks here. This was a box I used for my one of my Christmas light controllers. I had a short in it, so it created that little discoloration. But what I'm using here is I 3D printed these brackets for a PC power supply that I had spare. So I'm using this. I'm using the 12 volt out of this. I'm using a solid state module to turn the router on and off. If you guys remember, I posted that as soon as this came on, the router was making this like weird on and off noise. Turns out to be like this was bad. The one that I had was bad. I have my shut off switch right here. This powers this and the router. So if something happens, I kill it. Everything just dies. The controller and the router, they both die. And if you see the router here, you know, I can unplug this thing. And I could add an extension cord to it if I want to use it somewhere else. So, figured that would be the best way to not waste a router or like. So yeah, so this is great. And here's the wiring. I try to clean it up as much as I can, but you know, it never comes out as clean as you want it to be. You know, so but it works. Everything works. This is for the Z axis. So when I want to zero it down, and I have a super long data cable that goes to my PC right there, so I control. You know, I send the codes, everything to here because I don't really want to use the SD card on this. You know, if I have a computer in the shop, I just use that. But yeah, so let's. Oh, and this is the trigger on fan 0. Fan 0, this is where how you trigger the solid state to turn on the router. So let's close this up. Alright, the bottom closed. Let's turn this on. We're gonna send her home. And we're gonna home 0. We're gonna clip that on. Actually, I said 0, I said the Z axis. Okay, the Z-axis is zeroed. Be right back. Alright guys, so she's working right now. She's gone further than normal that, you know, before she stops. I'm going to show you something right here. See these? What happened was the machine went all the way to here and it stopped. So I had to restart it from this position. So I actually restarted from the beginning and it ended up being off. What was happening is the machine kept stopping, or the board, you know, as they, you know, I asked the guys on the forum, they say the board is freezing, something's going on with the signal, that it keeps freezing in position, losing signal or whatever. So what I did was, I have this on a 25-foot length USB cord that's connected to my computer right here. But the cord didn't really reach, so I had an extension connected to it. So I moved my computer, I put it there. Now it's a direct connection from the computer to the board, and so far it has not paused. And this is going probably, I don't know, 35 holes without stopping. So I'm hoping this continues going on, and I will provide the finished product, updated video, and all that stuff. And actually, you can see right here, these holes are not straight because I had like 6 or 7 stops because of the issue I've had. So I'm hoping for this to continue going without a stopping, and we'll pick it up. When it's done. Alright guys, so this didn't come out as I planned, only because I had issues. As I showed you guys what the issue was with the machine, kept turning off, and I had to get it back started, and it was not aligning. So as you can see, the holes, there's lots of issues. And then what happened was, that happened. I don't know what the hell happened there. G-code never changed. G-code was still the same. And after I fixed the problem, there was a shift in design, which I don't know what the hell happened, but it happened. I am not going to go and make another wasteboard because this took about 5 hours to make. So this has to do, this will do. Now, going with my other issues where the trucks were kind of a little off balance. Even though I zeroed this thing in, I squared it to the best of I could. I had some issues with alignment. This is 99% user error, guys. The machine works fine. There's nothing wrong with the machine. Now, was it worth it? Is this whole Mpcnc worth the trouble? Worth the alignment? Worth, going through all the prints, all the issues I had to go through? I had to print this twice because, the 3D printer malfunctioned, X, Y, and Z. My honest opinion, yes. Because if you want to buy this thing for the sizes that you want to make it, you're going to be dropping about a couple $1,000s. And this thing is just not, it's not just for carving. You could do laser, you could do vinyl, you could do many things. So overall, even though my experience, this is my experience, not anybody else's, my experience was a little bit tougher because of the issues I ran into. And, majority of them were and are user errors. And me being very new to this thing, I know nothing about G-codes. I could do wiring all day. I could get this thing moving all day, but when it comes down to G-codes, forget it. This is sitting on my foldable table, so that one thing I had to figure out. Then I realized I had my legs a little too short, so I had to replace these, put a little bit longer ones. So there was a lot of things that had to work out on my end, but nothing to do with the machine itself. The machine, the board, the way it's been set up, the way it's been programmed, the way it runs. If it's zeroed to the T, you're not gonna have a problem. It's gonna work the way it's supposed to work, just as have you seen in all the other videos and pictures and forums. And I tell you one, man, V1 Engineering Forum, the best forum I've ever worked with. So many nice people out there, so many smart people. I put my problem out there, within hours I'm getting response. Sometimes minutes I get responses. So, kudos to everyone who actually helps and supports one another, because this, even though this could be either a hobby or turn into a business, you know, just the fact that there's a support structure out there for people like me that, you know, don't know jack about this. This is my first time doing it. It's amazing. Just the amount of support you get out there, just the amount of information, knowledge, you know, because I may know something somebody else might not know, and somebody else knows probably more than I do. So, you know, I put my problem out there and, you know, I get the answer right away, you know, within an hour or whatever. But I got the machine working. She runs beautiful, except the, you know, the shenanigans that went on here. But, you know, everyone has made mistakes. I made a mistake. But to me, this is good enough. As long as I could mount my pieces in there, I'm going to do some more test runs and, you know, dial this thing into the T and start, you know, doing some fun stuff with it. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Please leave your comments down below. Hit the like button. And if you like the video, please share it with your friends. But your subscription and your likes and your comments definitely will help. Peace out.